Alrighty, hello there, everybody. Here we are. We are live. Got 7 people. All right, how's it going, everybody? We are here today to talk about the current crisis in our nation here. Many of you obviously probably, can't escape the news. Obviously, it's all around us. Personally, for an incident that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I got to say I'm quite taken aback that I am getting a curfew in California from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. That's, to me, a pretty wild situation that's going on. So that tells me that there's quite a lot going on. Everybody's paying attention at this point. And what happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis is an absolute tragedy, and it shouldn't have happened. Mm-hmm. And I think most 95% of people here, including a lot of law enforcement officers, you know what I mean, are in agreement on this, that guy was just wrong. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's going to meet consequences. Now, some people are getting up and whatever about whether it's enough consequences and all that stuff. Look, folks, let's wait for the court case and let's see the facts come out, because I'll be honest.
Well, they've changed
2 different stories about the autopsy. You get one autopsy that says one thing, and then an independent autopsy that says that it was the opposite. And so I'm not saying either one is wrong, but all I'm saying is we need some time to sort through the information, because it's all coming at us pretty quick. So instead of picking up your pitchforks and your torches, go to your computer and start pulling up the documents and start pulling up everything that's useful and finding out what the hell happened here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, Ripper on YouTube actually made a brilliant request. I'm going to probably try to file my first FOIA. I'm going to see if I can try to FOIA those body cams that they don't want to release.
There you go. They don't want to release them.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can. I've never done it before. I don't know what it all entails, and I don't know if, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try. We'll see if I can get them.
We need to see what went on in that car. What was going on in that car?
I want to see this supposed evidence of him resisting.
Yep.
Resisting in such a way with handcuffs on
that they had to pull him out of the car.
They needed to do that. I mean, that's what I want to see, that kind of resistance. What that resistance looked like. Yep. That they felt they needed to do that. I mean, I'm curious at this point.
Hey,
so it's either something crazy happened or nothing happened, and that's probably why they don't want to release the body cams. So I'm gonna see I'm gonna definitely see if I can try to FOI that.
Well, something really crazy must have happened if they pulled him out of the car.
FOIA. But we're not talking about the Avery case, though. But
we're talking about
I think she may be talking about this.
Or whatever his name is. I can't even pronounce that dirty cop.
Chauvin? Yeah.
Mr. Killer.
Yeah. Well, let me know, Rhonda, if you have any success and if I can be of any help. I definitely want to FOIA those damn things, because I want to see this supposed resistance that he offered that required that much. Anyway.
And I've seen a lot. I've seen the local news. I've seen everything. I mean, I'm right in the heart of it. I wasn't at first. I was in the other city, but it moved over to St. Paul, and it was scary. It is scary. I stand behind them all the way. That as soon as they were fired, they should have all been put in jail and charged with first-degree murder, whatever is the highest charge. I'm hearing they are changing his charges. I heard that about a half an hour ago. I'm not sure if it's true. There's supposed to be some kind of press thing going on. I'm not even sure if that's happening. Maybe they were canceling it. I don't know. I do know they canceled his court date, and that is until next week. So, and he's in a maximum security underground or super prison.
Right. So, well, it would just be an arraignment he's going to be coming up on. So
they need to charge the other guys.
Yeah.
They need to get them all in. It's ridiculous. The one standing there too. I know him, and he's an idiot standing there.
It's a shame that one of those officers didn't think, hey guys, all right, this has gone on long enough, right? I mean, it's pretty, and like I said, I want to see this resistance. Before I get too critical and say what I really want to say about these guys, I just want to see what this supposed resistance looked like. so that I know
Oh.
exactly how pissed off I want to be.
You know, as well as I know, it don't take much resistance to get actions from the cops.
Well,
So he might have just threw his hands up the wrong way, or tried to run away, like in our case with our buddies.
right.
And a cop with a big power. I mean, this guy has a power trip. He's got a long list of issues when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah.
He has a lot of power over restraining people. He's been brought up on a lot of charges. They should have he'd been, but of course this thin blue line, which seems to grow into a big thick blue wall to protect these guys, is crazy. I have to say, I'm very proud of our mayor asking for their jobs right away. That's fast. That's quick.
Yeah.
But they need to all be charged. I mean, we are the first state to have no immunity and any of this stuff. So I'm proud of that. But don't take your time, not with evidence like that. Okay. I mean, this isn't something you need to investigate. What more do you need to see what happened to this guy? You need to see him being beat up in the car first. Yeah, that's the body cams. Let's see that. And then they drag him out, and then they sit on him for 7 to 8 minutes while people are telling him that he's dying and he's begging for his life.
Right.
Yeah, at that point, to me, that's a little thought planned. Once you're told that once the guy is saying, I cannot breathe, you're killing me, I cannot breathe. Once that's saying, and you're choosing to keep your knee on top of that person, you are choosing to cut off his air and choosing to stay that way. And as far as I'm concerned, that's premeditated. So your charge needs to go to the top,
Right. So for anybody that may be watching this video after the live broadcast, or if you're tuning in here live with us and you've never heard of the Eagle Nation Craig Hopper situation, I am going to show you something right now. So what we have is a situation with an officer who was hit. Well, first of all, we had a hostage situation with a hostage taker. The police attempted to enter the building to apprehend the hostage taker, but it was a failed attempt. One of the officers got hit in the helmet. That officer's name was Craig Hopper. Okay. That officer, instead of removing himself from the situation like he should have, and as you'll see here, was ordered twice to do, he remains involved and ends up, when one of the hostages ends up trying to escape a short time after the raid, the police tried to raid, one of the hostages is asked to go close the back door, and that hostage is Michael Funk, folks. He was the owner of the shop, well, one of the owners of the shop. So he gets out that back door, and the hostage taker fires at him. He gets out, he gets away from the hostage taker, and ends up getting gunned down by the very officer who had been hit in the helmet, who had been ordered twice to stand down. I'm going to show you guys here right now so you can see it, but I'm giving you a brief overview so that when you're watching these events here unfold right now, that you understand the significance of them. And when you eventually see the officer lie to his commanding officer and tell his commanding officer that he was cleared by medical even, which never happened.
Lie.
Yeah. When you see that, you can understand it for what it is. And this is all clear. All these officers understood this was going on, and yet nothing ever happened about it. It's only because the $50 million bullet docudrama right now is in the works right now that this is starting to get some attention. And this is something we've been talking about. And what you're going to see here is pieced together body cam footage and stuff from the event in 2015 when Michael Funk was killed. And if I can get the body cam footage and more of the camera footage from around that spot, I will piece together a real-time video just like the one you're about to see, if I can get it all together. So just so you understand what I'm talking about, let me just show you guys the little video. Obviously, Linda's seen this before. It's part of the $50 million bullet trailer. Right one. Oops, sorry, wrong one there. Okay. Get that full screen. All right, let me share my screen there, folks. Sorry. Just set up
Techie
here.
things.
All right.
Don't over here.
He's hit.
He's hit. He's hit.
He's hit.
It goes through my helmet.
We're good. We got enough guys there.
No, you're not
Don't.
good.
Have enough fucking guys.
Craig, you know you can't go back there right now.
You know you can't go back there right now.
And there was fucking 3 dudes or 4 dudes in there.
Was there? I just saw the one. There was nobody in there as a hostage.
No, fuck that.
Hold on, it's closed in the back door right now.
That's Michael Funk, folks.
If you fucking run out that back door, I'm gonna fucking unload on you.
Yeah, that was not. Ooh.
This is him. One eye. More shots fired. He's over back in the He's in the alley. One down. Shots fired in the alley. One down.
I don't care how many times I see it. It's awful to see.
It's tragic. It's tragic.
Love your brother, but you should not be here. I said, fine. Got shot in the head. Yeah, and I went and got checked out, and they said I'm fine. I said, do you feel like I'm fine to go back? They said, yes, absolutely. They checked my eyes. I didn't go unconscious.
Why?
They checked my eyes. They said I do not have. Dude, you got a huge fucking lump there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they got it.
yeah, I got shot in the fucking head. What do you expect?
Hit him.
I did. I already did. Shot someone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed this dude. Sorry, I didn't know that.
Something I want to make everybody aware of at this point. He knows it was a hostage. When you see him laughing and cackling right there, he knows it was a hostage.
Phone with me. Where is he now? Where's the dude? He backed him out.
The gun's still up there.
He had one right in the headlight for one of us. Yeah. So you guys got a camera on right now?
He's going the entire time.
Okay.
That must be where he calls his wife to say it was killing a deer, right?
Hold on. I want everybody to hear this.
Run away. He was in the truck, so what? He was hiding behind the truck, so it wasn't like a. My impression was the victim trying to run away. He was.
Okay.
Someone shooter still inside.
So you understand, folks, right there, that another cop on scene who hadn't been shot in the head believed that Michael Funk was a hostage running away. Somebody who was thinking soberly observed that in a completely different way than the officer who had been hit in the helmet. So that's really one other big takeaway from that. But my point is that this got swept under the rug too. I don't know if many of you were watching it, but you heard after they shot Michael Funk 9 times, Hopper says, "Show me your hands," after Michael Funk is already expired.
I got one in the headlight.
As
He
you heard him
talked about
say,
it
he got one in the headlights from one of us. You
Yeah.
heard him say that. So
Gloria does it good. He's
Absolutely.
so damn proud of himself.
yeah,
Yeah, Gloria, he sounds like he is.
no, he knew he had done wrong.
Yeah.
So it's these types of situations that have us pissed off. And I can understand why there's people out there wanting to display their disgust and their frustration and all that. I get that. I love that.
Really.
I want everybody to get out there and make that stuff known. But if you are crossing the line and you're destroying things and stealing things because you want to get more cool stuff for you, you're not doing this for George Floyd. And quit, just quit kidding everybody and yourself, because this isn't about George Floyd for you. This is about you getting some cool stuff because you can use George Floyd as a reason for it, as a justifier or a justification for it. Okay, so that's all that is.
Yeah, they got people coming in from other states, and it has nothing to do with the riot. They have no signs. They're just gathering in parking lots, waiting for enough to gather in so they can start fueling the fire. Because if you fuel people that are angry about things, they're bound to do things about it. You know what I mean? It's just, you're just adding more fuel to an already heated situation, and it's easy to do, especially just fresh out of COVID. Just, you know, I mean, people are just opening up their businesses, and then you go and do this, and people that have lost their jobs. I mean, they don't have their jobs. They're suppressed, you know, and it happens to be the poorer parts of town. And I don't say that I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being pissed off, but it's unnecessary to destroy your own town, to destroy your neighborhoods, because that stuff might not come back, and it's already hard enough for us to get to the grocery store or to get what we need at a good cost. So let's start thinking about that, you know. But I also got to say, most of the protesters are really peaceful. They really want to be peaceful. The ones that weren't got arrested last night. There wasn't really no bullets thrown around. It was, they let them stay out at the place of where George died until 3:30 in the morning, and police were engaging. The police chief was engaging with the protesters, so it seems to be a little bit better. We still have the curfew tonight. I don't know what tonight's going to bring. You never know until it gets dark. That's what I was always saying. You know, you just don't know. I haven't heard any helicopters lately, so that's a good thing. But I got to say that this cop is one in a ton all across the nation.
Every cop is like
that are doing this. Every station has them. I don't know if you have one or 10, but one bad apple makes them all look bad. And the power trip that they get on, that's why I think they need some psychological help, you know, every 6 months or whatever, they're depending on what they're dealing with. But this $50 million bullet is a perfect example. A perfect example, and it only thing I can say is that hopefully my state will prosecute this cop. You know, that he's charged, he's in custody. The others need to be there. Hopefully,
I think it's unavoidable
because in Wisconsin they don't.
Right.
Copper got a badge of, oh, you did better.
So I want to give all you the protesters, the peaceful protesters, I want to give you some fuel for your fire a bit, you know what I mean? And for those of you who are out there destroying and maiming and whatever, I'm gonna attempt to take some of the wind out of your sails here, because there's something going on right now. There's a senator who's willing to do something very meaningful here. So let me just do my screen share here again. And this, folks, is a retweet by Jerome Buting. This is brilliant. You just make this all bigger. Okay, so what he's talking about here is he's talking about this down here, and we'll get to that in a second. By Justin Amash,
immunity. We don't have that here.
Yeah. So what we got? But this will be federally. You understand? This will be nationally, folks. This is Congress. Okay. So this is progress. Police immunity was never passed by legislation. It's judge-made law that can be rescinded by the people. But we must rescind prosecutorial immunity too. Way too many examples of corrupt DAs. So what Jerry's saying is he loves where this senator is going with this bill that he's constructing. He's suggesting it needs to go a little bit further to include prosecutors as well. But
I agree.
Let's see what he's getting at. So Justin Amash, this week I am introducing the Ending Qualified Immunity Act to eliminate qualified immunity and restore Americans' ability to obtain relief when police officers violate their constitutionally secured rights. So that's good. I haven't even shown you guys what I retweeted Jerry. I'll show you guys in a second. But
that's
after
great.
we talk about this.
Love hearing this. This is bringing fast action. But it started in Minnesota because this damn cop got himself.
Yes.
I don't know why he decided it was okay to murder somebody in broad daylight in front of people. If he thought that he was going to get his knee up his neck in time, he was just trying to, just kill him, just stop just short of them shitting themselves is what they say, so you save their life. Well, that kind of behavior, that kind of thought pattern is just totally unacceptable. He's a murderer. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I mean, I could care less. Okay, I hope they prosecute him to the fullest. I'm all beyond it. But destroying your own neighborhoods, and it's nationwide. I mean, come on, there's 24 states or maybe even more by now that are involved in this, and even London. We don't need the violence, guys. Let's stand together and be a voice that they respect, not one that they fear.
Right. So this is a letter that basically Amash has written, I guess, out to all of his other fellow senators. And he's saying, "Dear colleague, please join me in sponsoring the ending of Qualified Immunity Act to eliminate qualified immunity and restore Americans' ability to obtain relief when police officers violate their constitutionally secured rights. As part of the Civil Rights Act in 1871, Congress allowed individuals to sue state and local officials, including police officers, who violate their rights, or allowed that back in 1871. But starting in 1967, the Supreme Court began gutting that law by inventing the doctrine of qualified immunity. So the qualified immunity is completely a construct of SCOTUS, and there's no actual legislation behind it. And that's why this piece of legislation can wipe it out. And that's what Jerry's pointing out. But anyway, it goes on to say that the Supreme Court began gutting that law and inventing the doctrine of qualified immunity. Under qualified immunity, police are immune from liability unless a person whose rights they violated can show that there is a previous case in the same jurisdiction involving the exact same facts in which a court deemed the actions to be constitutional violations. Folks, you may as well say the day you see a blue cow jump over the moon, because that is exactly how likely that situation is to happen. It's absolutely just impossible that situation is going to happen. So yeah, so that's what this senator is doing, folks. You should go over to Senator Amash after this, and I'll leave a link here for you guys to go do so. But you guys should all go retweet this tweet. Make a lot of noise about this tweet.
Yes.
And removing qualified immunity. You guys really want to do something helpful here. All you freaking protesters, looters too, stop looting for 5 seconds and go and like and retweet this tweet, okay? Because this is what's really going to help way more than
they pay attention. They pay attention to Twitter. Believe it or not, they do. It's weird.
Yeah. So hey, well, that's what I mean. So stop looting and burning.
I mean, they just like to twist shit up, man.
Go like and retweet Jerry's tweet or Senator Amash's tweet, because this is the type of thing that's going to help.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to read that again and again.
Well, we need this to become an actual bill, an actual act.
We do.
If it does, that is going to be a good day for America, folks.
We do.
So
I mean,
support.
The state-to-state thing is just not good enough. Yes, we have prosecutional immunity, but I don't know if it is for our DA. I thought it was for everybody across the board, but I'm being surprised at just because you have that doesn't mean you're going to get it, because there's crooked walls built in every cop shop. You know what I mean? That goes that little blue line. They say it's a big blue wall, okay, and they protect their brothers, and it's beyond me, okay?
That's true.
I'm glad they're doing the right thing. I'm glad that the third precinct does not stand by these guys. None of them so far have, they've, pretty much understood where the people are coming from, you know what I mean? But they need to put them all in jail. Mm-hmm. And they need to stop having them have so much power over us, and the way they restrain us, or restrain us has got to be changed. If you were watching the protesters last night as they were taking some of them down, one cop had his knee on a guy's neck, and the other cop pulled his leg off and put it up on his leg, on his back. You can see that. So they're still doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it, right?
still some
What they're
bad-
talking about, they're still doing.
They're still out there. There's bad, and there's
At
bad
least
apples
his
on both
partner
sides.
was smart and said, "Whoa!" and pulled his leg up. You know what I mean? He seen it and pulled it up. But what if he wouldn't have? That kid could have probably choked too. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They shouldn't be able to do that kind of thing. Once you got somebody down on the ground, why do you need 3 other people on top of you? Okay, why do you need to shove 19 bullets in a man that's trying to get away from a fucking guy holding him a hostage? Excuse my language, but a guy being held hostage. What is the sense here? Where is the communication with the innocent people and the police? Where is the communication in the community that allows this kind of stuff to keep going on? It's, it has to change. Cops have to be able to be trusted in the community. They're not. I don't think anybody in Neenah, Wisconsin trusts their cops there. I don't think I would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust them here. Even though I know something's going to happen to them. In Wisconsin, nothing does happen to them.
All right, so folks, here is Senator Amash's tweet by itself. And then here is Jerry's retweet. If you guys want to go and give that a like and a retweet. And then if you're really feeling ambitious, you can go and retweet my retweet of Jerry retweeting Senator Amash. So what I said when I retweeted Jerry is I said, well, it isn't repealing AEDPA, but I think it will cause officers to be more mindful in certain situations. Prosecutors should also have meaningful consequences if they violate a person's constitutional rights. So that's what I said. I think this is good news. If this becomes law, it becomes a bill, it will prevent the Supreme Court from doing this whole invention of qualified immunity that they've created that is so pissing the people off and has our country burning at the moment. So it's supporting stuff like this and getting behind stuff like this and using your power to vote that is really going to create the difference here and get this legislation that we need passed. Okay. And this is good legislation. This isn't fear. This isn't based on fear and everything like AEDPA was and like the Patriot Act was. This is based on the people feeling emboldened and wanting to feel safer again, and backing things like this in Congress are going to be the way to go, folks. So, like I said, everybody go over and show support for those tweets and anything you see about potential legislation like that, because I think that's what's really going to help us out here. All right. So, I see Jamie jumped into the chat over here. Apparently his pool is just kicking his butt. He couldn't make it. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Gonna listen while he works, he says. See, what he's working on is he's working on his pool. See, what he's really doing is sitting in there with a cocktail. You know what I mean? He's in the pool, listening to the broadcast. He got a cocktail in his hand. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's working. Yeah. I'm messing with you, dude. So, like I said, there's a lot of reasons for people to be upset. You know what I mean? I showed you another one today with Craig Hoffer in Neenah, Wisconsin, at Neenah PD. And the thing with George Floyd, and those of you who remember Philando Castile. I mean, there's things here, there's a lot of things here that the qualified immunity has basically created a situation where the cops like Chauvin basically took qualified immunity to mean they could do whatever the hell they want. Why should they even have to worry about anything? You know what I mean? And if you had even 1 out of 100 officers interpreting qualified immunity that way, that's bad news. That's really bad news. And it needs to go. I mean, there needs to be consequences. I mean,
yes.
Look, folks, when we grow up, we learn, right? We stick our hand in that fire, and that fire hurts us. And we go, ow! And we don't stick our hand in the fire anymore, right? This is the same damn principle here.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
When they put their hand in this fire, they need to feel consequences for it.
Oh yeah.
That's what needs to happen. So, and it's legislation that's going to help us do that. And so I hope you guys will get behind Senator Amash in helping push that bill, because that's the bill that's really going to do some good. And hopefully they get some stuff in there about keeping prosecutors honest too, because prosecutors are getting just as out of hand. In fact, it's their fault probably that the police officers are getting so out of hand, because like you've heard Steve Moore, retired FBI agent Steve Moore here on my channel say before, it's the DA who's calling the shots, and he's letting them get away with it. He's letting the investigators and the cops get away with things because he wants them to build his case. And why is the DA letting them get away with it? Because the judge is letting the DAs get away with it. Folks, it's time for the people in legislation to step in and put an end to the madness, and bring some honesty and some truth back to our justice system.
Do it peaceful, be respected and not feared, and you'll be heard.
And create awareness. You know what I mean? It's trying to let people know that these things actually happen, because some people have blinders on.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that around me. So
yeah. But this is a time right now when people are kind of taking the blinders off right now because of what's happening, and there's so much turmoil. They are actually taking their blinders off, and they're actually trying to take in the situation. So now is a time for getting people's attention and letting them know that things that they didn't possibly realize exist. I mean, this is one of those times when it's the best time to help people realize that. So,
yeah.
I agree, Shaz. The riots are just ridiculous. People now, I guess we can kind of end by talking about some of. I'm gonna start this segment off by saying these are allegations at this point for me, folks. I don't know. I don't have any solid proof in front of me to say that it is, but there appears to be reports and allegations of groups being bussed in to certain locations around the country, and kind of that ended up potentially, influencing some of the more peaceful protests to become violent or looting and burning and whatever. And so if there is somebody out there with that kind of an agenda, sending in groups of people to create turmoil, we need to be keeping our eyes open, folks. And if you can get me proof of it, I'll talk about it. I'll say it. I won't preface it like I just did this part. I won't preface it by saying this is just allegations. You give me proof, and I'll talk about it like it's real. So if anybody out there can prove it,
well, I should have had my camera going today.
Eric@mam@gmail or ericjose@mam@gmail.com. So you can email me there and let me know what you got. So sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I should have had my camera today when a bunch of them were going down the highway. So
all right.
I can only say I've witnessed something. I'll see what I can get on camera.
Sure.
My leg is a little better now, so I might be able to get out and about and maybe do some filming of the damage. During the day, because at night we don't know what's happening that night. Our major highways are shut down, and you cannot pass through them. So any freeways, the ones that go from state to state and all that, they're closed. You can't be on them. So it's serious. There's a lot of military. There's a lot of helicopters, drones, and sheriffs, cops, everything you can think of. It's scary. It is very scary. And there are groups out there. So I'm going to try to find out some of the proof. Maybe I can get some. I don't know. But I do know that that's a whole nother agenda, and it's taken this to a whole nother level. And a lot of people are getting hurt in other states. So let's just be mindful of that and not jump on the bandwagon of the mob mentality that is going on.
Yeah, and Kelly Merritt here makes a good point, and I feel the same way she does. But the fact is, qualified immunity here is the problem.
I don't trust anybody either.
This is not a bill that's gonna. Well, see, we have to watch out what they try to tack onto it. For me, it's going to be a matter of what do other senators and other members of Congress try to tack onto this thing before the end is going to be more of my that's what I'm more concerned about, because doing this act and removing qualified immunity is a good thing that's going to make police officers and if they do it right, prosecutors accountable again, so that they don't just feel like they have a blank check to do whatever the hell they want in pursuit of a conviction because they think they're right.
Right.
They have to follow the rules, and there has to be something there to keep them within the rules. Otherwise, they will not follow them. We see it time and time again.
Some outside
violations and everything else all throughout our court system all the time.
Yeah. Some outside sources looking in on them. Some outside divisions looking in on these, because the in-house investigations just do not work. They don't work, not at all. Somebody, it's like put her in the garage or trailer. It's just what it's like.
Yeah.
So with that kind of corruption, having that much, leeway to have that much corruption, you need to be very careful about what they put in it. Yes, exactly. Now, make it very crystal clear.
Kelly has said this a couple of times, folks, but I'm going to preface this the same way I prefaced talking about potential people being bussed in or brought in.
Right.
If there is some proof to connect the coroner, like he was covering for the police department, if we can find some credible proof, I will be happy to talk about that. But as of now, I can only say that that's just an allegation.
Right.
But I think it's a fair one. I'll say. I think he was too fast. I think that's a kind of a logical 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing. But I would prefer, before saying that it's definite, I would prefer to see the actual connection.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think he was just too quick on the determination of that. And being with all this COVID, people are saying that they're looking at underlining issues. But come on now. I don't think you can mistake it. So there's something funny there. I agree with you, Kelly. I really do.
Yeah.
Something funny there. Something that needs to be checked out for sure.
And T1's bringing up these things here that happened. And yes, these were bad because they took away our rights. The difference between the act of removing qualified immunity is that it gives us some of our rights back that the Supreme Court has been taking away from us slowly since 1976.
Here's Alex is in here. Primal Movement, Fresh Start Monday. Hi, Alex.
Oh,
I'm
hey, buddy.
in Minnesota too, dude? So I'm right here with you. He's been doing some videos.
Oh, he's in Minneapolis, dude.
He's been doing some live things. It is very deep. I get you. There's a lot of conspiracy stuff going on here that you'll cover probably better than me. But you are making him aware, and check out his videos, you guys. He's been out in the forefront doing it. Like I said, if I didn't hurt my leg, I would have been out there too. So,
right. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna go over and check out some of your stuff, dude. Seriously,
stay safe, Alex.
I have an interest in this, and I want to see the right thing happen. I want to see people use their power the right way here and exercise their, abilities as American citizens here in the right way, so that the right thing happens here. That's really what I want to see, because right now the right thing isn't happening. What's happening right now is not, it definitely could be less destructive. And because once again, I want to point this out. Everybody in this is properly outraged at Officer Chauvin. I mean, everybody, folks. I mean, even the most staunch supporters of officers like Chauvin, like conservative, police organizations and stuff that usually defend officers in these situations, even they don't want to touch this guy. Even
Alex said he can jump on for a few minutes if you want him to answer some questions. He's probably got film.
If people want to ask, you can hop on. Sure. Let me see if I can find that messenger chat. Holy crap! No times I use that one.
Yeah, because I've seen his videos. He was right down in the heart of it and catching some of those planted people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
making us aware.
It is.
Kind of shocked by your flip flops, though. Your feet might have got hurt.
All right, let me get him a link.
Oh, you won't be home for another 15 minutes. Damn it.
All right. Well, I don't know if we'll be live
And
then.
we've been
but
on for a
tell you
while,
what.
too.
I'll tell you what. I'm probably gonna talk about this again tomorrow night.
Yeah, we should get together on it.
So why don't you and I get together and do a 30-minute live tomorrow night and have a little chat? So, all right. So that's what we'll do, and we'll talk with Primal Movement tomorrow. Him and I will get that arranged. So, well, if he's got time anyway.
Yeah.
Because we were getting ready to wrap up. We're at 40 minutes, and I do kind of want people to watch this, and I want people to see the bit with Hoffer. I want people to understand that, yes, there is cause to be outraged here. And
it's just everywhere.
And you know, be looking for the docudrama, the $50 million bullet coming in the near future, probably well into next year, because COVID-19 happened and it threw a lot of things off. It's pushed a lot of things back. But sometime next year. So that's a half hour on Coze time.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
I'd love to be on with you, Al. He'll hop on live tomorrow night for an hour as well.
Yeah, so tomorrow. Okay.
Good deal. Yeah, I've been watching, and I'm like right there with you. I'm right here in the same state, so I wish I could have had my.
Oh, is he saying he's going live in an hour?
Cool. I'll hop on live tomorrow night in an hour as well as tomorrow. Oh, he's gonna hop on. I don't know what the thing is.
I'll work that out with him afterwards. So that's cool though. If he goes live tonight, I might go jump over on his channel. So
yeah, I'll go there. I'm a mod there.
Yeah, are you? so yeah, it's great to see. It's great to see Primal Movement again. Who I remember Fresh Start Mondays.
Yes, I remember that very well.
Became aware of him.
And he gave you the name. Let me see. Black Belt of MAM.
Yeah. Paul Capaldi, the Havering Scotsman, has never let anybody forget he gave me that nickname since either. So
I don't either. I don't either. I like to nitpick too. So, but yeah, he's a great guy. He's been taking it. He's been jumping in there, and I've been watching him and hoping he's staying safe. So.
Yeah, we like him.
Everybody stays safe, because we don't know whose state they're going to start hitting. It's been going on and on and on, and more states are taking it. So please, everybody, just be safe. If you want to protest, stand strong, stand your ground, and be respectful, and hold a sign and your hands up and chant, but don't wreck other people's things. Don't hurt other humans.
It's unnecessary, folks. What we need here is awareness. And although the
loud voices,
the rioting and the fires have created some awareness, they've kind of hit their max.
Martin Luther King did it.
So at this point, it's becoming pointless. So what we need now is awareness for the future. We need to be thinking about what's going to eventually happen in court with this case. We need to be following that. We need to see the facts coming out. We need basically. And especially those of you who are out there destroying, maiming, and burning, you better remember George Floyd's name in a week, you assholes. That's all I'm saying. In a week, you better remember his goddamn name, because if you're doing all this destruction and in a week or two or a month from now, you don't even remember his name, you're a douche. That's all I got to say about that. So, all right. Okay, so just so everybody gets their mind on focusing your energy in the right ways and in the right areas. And yes, I understand some people's concerns with the potential legislation, but I think this is good legislation, folks. It's not looking to take away our rights. It's looking to take away the unreasonable rights that the Supreme Court has given law enforcement officers. And hopefully that bill will be added to include prosecutors as well. So that's what we really need, and I want to encourage everybody to do that. Share this
Please
video.
Be safe. Be safe, you guys. I sneezed them in the chat. Be safe.
Anywhere you see people talking, about, this, destruction is good, share this video there. Share this video on that, wherever that Facebook page is, that Twitter thread is, wherever it might be. Share this video there so that they can see, yes, there is reason, but let's do it the right way. Let's focus our energy in a way that's going to actually make some kind of a difference instead of just being a huge headache for everybody, which is all burning down our local businesses is going to be. It's going to be a headache for us when this is over. Do we get to walk out into our neighborhoods and look at all of our burned down shops? Yay!
Thank you, Crockett.
So,
Maria Hart's yarn. Be safe for sure.
Yeah, and everybody
stay safe.
Watch out for those rioters and looters and people that are being,
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. It's dark out. It's an hour past. It's not dark out yet, but it's an hour past. So, cross my fingers.
Right.
Peaceful.
So, okay, folks, be looking forward. If I don't know if I understood that correctly, but if Primal Movement is going to be live in an hour, go over there and check him out. I'm gonna see I'll jump on with him there for a half hour or so, if he is. So and then I don't know, if not, if I end up doing that, or if we don't, we'll have Primal Movement over here tomorrow night, and we'll talk about this situation again, and we'll talk about any of the new developments and that sort of stuff. But and we'll have Linda and Primal Movement, obviously 2 people from the state. Right there where this is all happening, and maybe Jamie Hart can find some time to pull away from his pool tomorrow.
His pool.
And join us, so
I'm jealous. He's relaxing.
Yeah. So, but
Be
yeah,
kind.
I keep talking about this situation because I do want to see the right change come from it. This has got everybody's attention. This situation is prime for the right kind of change to happen. So, I just want everybody paying attention to that. So. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Linda, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Be kind. Keep others in mind.
Yes. And like I said, those of you who are out there destroying and looting, you better remember George Floyd's name in a month. If you don't, you're a douche. Anyways, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.